I'm going to be going through my today I'm going to go through my pitch for what I'm hoping to achieve for my documentary. So I'm going to be doing a short documentary on the concept of teenage phone addictions. I want to look into whether the idea of phone addictions is like an actual problem or if it's just seen as a myth. The aim is to show my audience what other people are seeing. So when people are saying you have an addiction, I want them to see, okay, we really are having an addiction, rather than them just thinking it's not a problem and it's fine. I'll have a set of interviews within the documentary, interviewing the younger people on the subject so they can relate more to the audience. I'll have a short drama scene at the end just to give the audience some type of like shock or entertainment, and I'll have an experiment going to test not only the participants but the audience as well to see how I think things will turn out. My hooks and themes are mobile phones, of course, teenagers, because that's who my audience are, addictions, and social media. My target audience for my documentary is aimed at younger audience, as like that's where the problem is. Like older people use their phones, but the problem is more like it's worse within Generation Z. Like teenagers aged 16 to 20 is going to be my main target audience, and I want them to be watching it and seeing how the problem is to other people. This is my mind map on target audience. So teenagers aged 16 to 20, B to E demographic. So that's like working class. Phone users, of course, because if you don't use your phone, then it's not really going to entertain you. It's like, okay. Instagram, because that's a like social media. So Instagram and Snapchat, they're big for teenagers. Like they're always used, and that's the thing that will get teenagers addicted. People who use YouTube, because watching it on your phone also becomes an addictive thing for people, because it's like you don't need a computer anymore, you don't need anything else, you can see whatever you want through your phone. And BBC Three watchers, because from looking at my BBC target audience, I can see they're aiming toward the same people I am. My secondary target audience is parents from Generation X, as the documentary will show them like their children, so they'll relate from their children's perspective. They will also be inspired how to help them maybe, and because documentaries are more watched by older generation, they may enjoy it because just generally because they enjoy documentaries. For my primary research, I have made a survey to send out to get ideas from an audience. So I want my target audience to tell me what they like and what they would want to see, so that I know how to aim at them correctly. I have also asked questions around my topic to a focus group of people, so a group of people who sat around, and I asked them questions on how they think this will work. My initial findings, so from my first survey, I asked questions: does this topic interest you? And do you think you're addicted to your phone? And a lot of people answered yes. Like a lot of people answered yes, which means that they're going to be interested in my documentary. And them saying they don't think they're addicted to the phone is good for me too, because if they watch it, by the end they may have changed their mind, and I like to be able to convince an audience rather than just tell an audience. So does the topic interest you? 100% of people answered yes. So everyone will want to watch it. And for my focus group, I got similar results. I asked if they were interested in the topic, and two said yes, and two said no. But the two that said no, I want to inspire them from my documentary. So after watching it, they may decide, okay, maybe I am interested. Maybe it's better than I thought. These are three like videos that I watched and I enjoyed. And I thought they were really good for me to get ideas. And I actually did take ideas from the last one. I took a lot of ideas because she did a similar thing to the experiment, and I wanted to do that. So that's where I got my idea for the experiment. From the second one, it was kind of inspiring. Like, it made you think. That's like I saw that documentary, like that short film, and that's where I got the idea to do a documentary on teenage addiction, because I'd seen that separately, not from research. The first one also, it's funny. I think I found it funny because I can't take it seriously, but it's also really like, okay, like it tells you a lot, and it's very entertaining. These two, yeah, so this is one of the ones I was talking about before, the one at the bottom, because it gave me the idea to do the experiment, because when I saw her do it, it looked really good. Like, it really showed me as an audience that teenagers really are addicted. Like, they couldn't do the experiment. And then the first documentary gave me the idea for the short film at the end. So in this first documentary, they did like a thing where he didn't have his phone and he met the love of his life, and when he did have his phone, he walked straight past her. And it just shows an audience that, like, your phone is a distraction from opportunities, and that's exactly what I want my audience to see. Secondary research, like here we can see who my parents for the secondary research: YouTube, case studies, documentaries on the same topic, social media, teenagers in general. Those are the sort of things I'll be looking into. And I also looked into a few like statistics on people who use their phones, and they were shockingly bad. Like, as you can see here, the number of mobile phone users in the world is expected to pass the 5 billion mark in 2019, which is a lot of people. And in 2016, an estimated 62.9% of the population worldwide already owned a mobile phone. So I thought these were really inspiring for me as well, because they kind of showed me a lot of people will be interested in this topic, because a lot of people need to be interested in this topic. So if I'm making a documentary about this topic, like, I will have a wide range of audience for them to want to see it. I created a few mood boards as well. I'll enlarge them. So this one is like pictures of addiction, but they've made, so it would be like an addiction for drugs, but they've made it into a phone. And that's also where I got my idea to make the audience believe that they're watching it as the addiction to drugs. So the opening will just be like, oh, okay, this is going to be about drugs, and then I'll let them know it's about phones. So I really liked these. I thought they were really weird, but like interesting at the same time, and they do show a lot. This one was like graphical drawings. This first one, everyone uses Facebook to like look around, to get around. Like, people depend on social media basically. So people that use social media a lot also probably use their phones, which means they're another target audience for me. Then these ones are like interesting pictures taken. So the black and white ones was a set called Removed, and they took pictures and removed the phone, and that's what gave me the idea to do my transition shots, but from the perspective of the phone, because it's like giving people a different perspective, rather than just someone's holding the phone and you take the picture, or someone's holding the phone and I take a video. People look at it in a different way. It makes them think more. And then I also took some of my own pictures whilst I was just sitting in my classroom, and these were loads of people who just had their phone either in their hand or next to them. Like, you can see it's everyone. It's a big problem, and this really showed me, okay, I do have a big target audience. The style of documentary I'm doing is, I wanted to start with a participatory because this is like the type of documentary that draws attention to the idea that you're watching a documentary. So people are gonna know I'm watching a documentary. It's not like a film type of documentary. And scenes with interviews, looking directly into the camera, like that's how I want mine to be. And reflexive documentary because I like the style, like it makes people talk. So if I have things that are like very contraceptive, then people will talk more. And controversial, sorry, people will talk more. And I want people, the more people talk, the more people see. So here are some of my contributors and the equipment I use or will be planning to use. I'll be using a tripod to pick up more steady and better angle shots. A light, because in a studio, hard light is the best. The college will give us, because the college have cameras, so I'll be using the college cameras, and I'll be using a shotgun mic to get more directional sound when in the studio. The budget, the people are participating in the film, the interviewees will not be paid. They're doing it just for me, so I don't need to pay them. Because the studio is also in the college, it will also be free, but I have a budget of £30 for food and travel, so I'll be feeding the interviewees and myself. Any music I may want, I may have to pay for, or I'll find uncopyrighted music. And I also have a full budget in my FMP folder if you need more information on that. My locations so far, I think, are going to be Oak Hill Park, Colindale and Barnet College. Oak Hill Park because I want to film on the roads there because I know they're not as busy. Barnet College because that's where the studio is, and Colindale because it's a quieter area too. My schedule is here. It's not completed in this. It's completed on my actual schedule, but I haven't put in my most recent one yet. But you think my schedule really helped me because it helped me keep workflow and it helped me keep time management. So I think the schedule was really good for me personally, as I was able to keep on track with my work. My recce's are also here. This one is the Oak Hill Park from where I filmed where I'm going to film my crash scene, and this one is where I'm going to film my interviews, and I have written all about it, and they're also in my production paperwork. My feedback, I'll be receiving feedback through surveys, vox pops, focus groups, YouTube and Instagram. As I've already done focus groups, I know exactly how they work, and they are really helpful because you get information straight away rather than having to wait. So if I put it on YouTube, I'll have to wait for comments. If I put it on anything else, like a survey, I have to wait for people to answer. So they are really helpful in that way. Yeah, that's all.